Welcome to today's video where we're gonna make 5 super easy, healthy toddler snacks that take very little time and your kids are sure to gobble them up. First, we're gonna make some little zucchini pizza bites. These are super fun. So right now I'm just preheating my oven to 400 degrees. And I like to cut these into just small circles depending on how old your kiddo is. Mine is just a year old, so I like to make these nice and thin. I'm just using a baking sheet that I have here with a piece of wax paper on top. Just helps for the cleanup. And now I'm going to line the cookie sheet with the zucchinis. One of the reasons I love this recipe is you can literally use your kitchen sink. So I created this recipe based on just things I wanted to use up in my fridge that were gonna go bad. So I've got this pizza sauce that's left over and a little bit of cheese and some turkey pepperonis that actually aren't pictured. After I've added a small amount of pizza sauce, I'm just adding a little bit of cheese along with a little slice of turkey pepperoni. And now these are ready for the oven. This recipe literally took me 5 minutes to make, and now we're going to bake these for 10 minutes, and that's it. And here is the final product. I love that the zucchini is soft enough that my daughter can eat it easily, and she loves these most days. As we know, toddlers' preferences change like the wind. Next up, we're gonna make this really fun yogurt bark. I'm always looking for ways for my daughter to get healthy fats like yogurt, but it not be near as messy, which is why I absolutely love this recipe. So I'll make sure to link it in the description box below. I'm adding 2 containers of this Fage, I think that's how you say it. I always butchered the name, but you get what I mean. The full fat Greek yogurt. It's really important that toddlers have full fat and not low fat yogurt. Next, I'm adding just a touch of vanilla and then really just a tiny drizzle of maple syrup. I didn't use near as much as she calls for in the recipe, and my daughter still loved it. Make sure to give it a real good stir. So next you want to take another baking sheet lined with wax paper, and you want to go ahead and spread out the mixture in a pretty thin layer. Once you're done, now is the fun part. You get to add whatever toppings you want. For my daughter, she loves strawberries and blueberries, so I'm adding those depending on the age appropriate. For example, these blueberries I'm going to mash later because my daughter still needs them to be mashed, and I'm chopping up the strawberries into smaller pieces so that she doesn't choke on them. Here's the finished product. Now we're ready to go ahead and pop it in the freezer. So you want to make sure that you leave it in the freezer for at minimum 2 hours. And then I highly recommend when you take it out of the freezer, you want it to sit on the counter for like 5 to 10 minutes, because I found with my daughter, if it was too frozen, it was too cold for her, and also it was too hard for her to eat. Now we're gonna just break it into bark pieces. See, it looks so good. If you have older kiddos, this would be a really fun activity for them to do. Obviously, my daughter's only 1, so she's not there yet, but I love this recipe because as she gets older, we can make it together and we can just really make it fun, and she can decorate it herself. Next up, we're making a really fun spin on a charcuterie board, but this one is for toddlers. So for this recipe, I'm going to use some Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese that we get from Costco and some avocado, along with a cucumber that I've already washed, and this awesome rotisserie chicken from Costco, which always comes in clutch. As a mom, I'm always looking for easy, healthy ways to feed my daughter. As always, depending on the age of your kiddo, make sure you chop up your fruit into an appropriate size that you feel comfortable feeding to them. So next, I've just cut off a little bit of the rotisserie chicken for a great source of protein. My daughter usually likes chicken, so this is a pretty safe bet when it comes to lunch or a snack. Okay, so now for the fun part. You get to arrange the charcuterie board however you want. You get to put your artistic abilities to work here. So I'm just adding all the elements, the chicken, the cheese, some cucumber for some veggies and fiber, and I'm gonna add some strawberries and blueberries, which again, I'm going to mash these blueberries before I give them to her, but I'm not in this video just to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. And finally, I'm going to add some avocado for some extra added fats. And there you go. This is your final product, a toddler charcuterie board. You can get as creative as you want. Use anything you have in your house. You can't mess it up. Next up, we're gonna make these zucchini cheesy bites. Start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. And then you're gonna use a muffin tin, and I like to put these liners in, so again, the cleanup is a lot easier, but you can surely just spray the pan and put it directly in it. Next up, you're gonna take 2 zucchinis, wash them, chop the ends off, and then you're going to use your grater to grate the zucchini. Make sure that you're using the large side of the grater. So once you've had your arm workout for the day, literally, you're gonna go ahead and just transfer this to a strainer. I like to do this because it helps me get the water out from the zucchini. If you have a cheesecloth, that's amazing. I couldn't find mine, so I'm makeshifting here. But I just transferred it to my sink, took a paper towel, and pressed as much of the water out of the zucchini as I possibly could. Next up, I grated about 3/4 to a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. Honestly, the more, the better. Then I went ahead and added everything to a bowl. And next, I knew that I needed a binder. I totally was winging this recipe. So I decided that I needed breadcrumbs, but I actually didn't have any. So I just used some of the sourdough bread we have. I'm gonna show you the brand. This is our absolute favorite. I think it's Izio sourdough, and it's the absolute best. We get it from Costco, and I think it's better than homemade. After I transfer it to a bowl, I actually added 2 eggs, which you won't see here because epic fail. Eggs are the worst to clean up on the floor, but this is real life, so there you go. A little salt and pepper to taste, and feel free to add any other seasonings that you want. You could add garlic, you could add onion, whatever your heart desires. Next, you just want to grab your baking tin and go ahead and evenly distribute all of the batter. I like to fill mine pretty full because they don't really overflow. And that's it. This is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. We're gonna go ahead and pop it in for 20 minutes, and then that's it. And I like to store like 3 or 4 in the fridge and then the rest in the freezer, because my daughter likes something for about 2 days in a row and then she decides that she's tired of it. So this way I'm prepped for a couple of weeks. Last and final recipe are these super fun yogurt banana pops. So we're gonna go ahead and take 2 bananas and slice them in half. Next, we're gonna take about a cup of yogurt. I love this Wallaby Organic brand because there's no sugar added. It's naturally sweetened with real fruit, but it's the only yogurt I've ever found on the market that doesn't have added sugars and tastes amazing, and my daughter loves it. So this is vanilla, they have strawberry, they have a lot of different flavors, but you could also use Greek yogurt, use any yogurt of your choice. Next, I'm gonna decorate these with sprinkles. These are my favorite sprinkles, and there's no artificial dyes. I will make sure to link them below on Amazon. You could easily do chocolate chips, you could do coconut flakes, you could do nuts, depending on the age of your kiddo. There's so many different options as far as what to decorate these with, but I chose sprinkles just because it was easy and it was something that I knew my daughter could eat. So I'm just taking a spoon and spooning the yogurt and making sure I cover the whole banana. It's honestly not super pretty, but whatever, she will appreciate it because it'll taste good. And now I am sprinkling some sprinkles on top, and then I'm gonna place it on a plate with some wax paper so that it will stay nice and pretty. That'll put in the freezer later. You'll go ahead and just repeat that step for all of your bananas. I actually use these little holders that my mom had given me to make popsicles because I couldn't find popsicle sticks anywhere in any supermarket, so you get creative as to what you can put your banana on. And this is what they look like before they go in the freezer. So you'll want to make sure that you freeze these for, again, at least a couple of hours, and I like to set these out for a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes so that they're soft for my daughter to eat. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these recipes. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button below. Make sure to subscribe so that you never miss a future video.